Hello, Collective. This is Sheila, your host. In this episode of Intentional Conversations, we're going to explore what happens when perception is carefully constructed but not contained, maybe sustained, maybe. Seems like someone who created a lie and realized that the lie takes a lot of maintenance, a lot of work, and maybe so much so that they have become consumed by the lie. And now the collective at this point in time is giving, that don't sound right. That don't feel right. So now we're going to see what happens here, collective, in this collective reading. Sometimes people can project something that's unstable or maybe a quiet manipulation. And so we're going to use some examples of where this can kind of happen in your own life. And so we're going to examine how a narrative can be built through suggestion, repetition, and maybe even some misplaced trust. And of course, when authority has the assumption to, you know, some people have, when you see them, you assume that they have certain level of authority or you trust what they're saying to you. And this is where instead of earning your trust, they're trying to assume that they're trusted. Like, you listen to what I say. You listen to what I say type of energy where somebody has to assume, okay, let me just trust them because they're so adamant instead of having that trusted earned. And people are going to have to learn this in 2026 that we cannot assume that somebody's trustworthy or trusted in what they're saying in opinion, wise. So we're going to see the confusion between what that has become quite a strategy, not by accident. This is something that was done intentionally to people or done to a group. So things that look subtle, it's like crosshairs or intersection where influence and distortion has cross T's. And now people are hearing things about false documentation. People are hearing things about emotional manipulation, how people have performed that they were nice people. Hi, I'm nice. And the whole time they have the quiet erosion of truth that's falling behind them. So we're seeing people who have been performing that they're nice people to find out that there's some truth behind the action of why they were nice to you. Because sometimes nice can be a strategy. And of course, over time, people can see the repetition, the patterns that has kind of invented this intention towards you or to the collective. And of course, every gossip or every narrative can have a fracture. And we're going to look at ways of people who have once looked at control as a way to quickly feel like they have contained something. Okay. And so somebody may have used a narrative to hold someone in place. Okay. Lock them in place. Okay. This is somebody who doesn't want you to move forward. This could be at your job. This could be in your daily life, your relationships, your career, whatever it is that you got going on, collective. Just think about it in your own life. How this energy is working in your collective. And of course, not everything presented to you is guidance. Some things are, some things are being presented to people as wisdom and guidance to only find out that it's not rooted in integrity. So I want people to be very mindful that there's a lot of information out there that people are trying to look trustworthy. People are trying to look approachable, nice, and they have their own agenda. And there's things that's happening in the collective where people who are trying to present as guidance to whatever is happening in the collective to find out that these people may not be rooted in integrity. And we got to start seeing it for what it is, that some of these illusions, what they have done behind the scene doesn't add up. Not everyone who has a position is trustworthy. Not everybody who says they're the chief of the tribe is trustworthy. Not everybody who's the CEO, not everybody who's the president, not every leader of a church is trustworthy. And not all of them are aligned with truth. Okay. So this is an episode this is again about people learning how to not react. And this is the thing that's probably the hardest thing to do, especially when you're trying to maintain some sort of spiritual authority without being dramatic. This is the thing about a lot of people in spiritual communities. They're so extreme. They can get out here and just do the top most for things that's not even worth their attention or time. Okay. I don't know, something going on collective. So people are starting to see the patterns. People are starting to recognize it more and more and more. So people are becoming very clear. This is clarity doesn't create arguments. Clarity does not create arguments. truth comes out one way or the other. If you're willing to recognize truth and recognize and ready to hear truth. A lot of you have been giving your ears and your soul and your expression, how you're feeling, maybe your own shadow, by listening to a lot of lies, and have fueled your life and your emotions for years and months and time, have invested in something that has been a lie from the beginning. So you have lived in the experience of lies. And so now people are starting to gain some sort of clarity. And so they're starting to see what's left, and left is clarity. So somebody was trying to weaponize how they were labeling the collective. So somebody wanted to discredit you. Okay, collective, this could be at your work, your relationship. This could be any form of thing that you could be having to experience, your PTA club, whatever you got going on. Somebody is weaponizing how they see or feel about you, and has started to create a narrative or a weaponized label about you, collective, and is trying to discredit you quietly. Okay. So this is somebody, I'm gonna use PTA, a whole bunch of mothers are at this event, they got a bake sale coming up, and one, this the star seed is the absolute amazing, baker, and here comes the moms, and oh, she doesn't have kids. That's her husband's child. She is not a real mother because she has not birthed a child. And we can create some label of, she's a stepmom, and all of us have natural births, and it's created this, I call it subtle prejudice behind your back, by the way, not in your face. It's something that's done behind your back. And you're saying, I like to be the lead baker in the club, and blah, blah, blah. And somebody's back behind you going, she's not a mother, though. She's not a mother. And that's not her child. And like somebody's going in, she's unstable. She missed the last PTL club. Somebody's going in subtly against someone and has started to create some sort of label against you. Maybe they have called you the stepmom, but in a very negative connotation to it. So let's get into it. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into some of these avenues of what the hell the collective has gotten themselves into, okay, or how to get out of it. So the situation that we're seeing right now is somebody has created a whole production behind your back, pretty much, collective. Somebody with a shaky script, somebody got a whole bunch of actors behind the scenes, and the cast of actors are tired. They're tired of the story. They're tired of this. Like, you know what? This episode needs to have its finale on the 18th time. They're tired, collective. The people who have played a part in this is tired, and they're like, look, this ain't. We're over the story. The collective, the people, I feel like the people who are part of this episode or part of this production is even tired of the production. Somebody had a well run down, thought of, shaky script in their hands, and they said, I'm going to say this about the collective, and I'm going to run this story out to the masses, and I got my team behind me, and we're gonna whoop to the whoop to whoop whoop whoop. This is somebody who portrayed themselves as a nice person. This is somebody who want everybody to trust their energy. When they walk in, the angels are singing. So when they walk in, you would never guess that man or woman beat up their wives every day. You would never guess that somebody was doing something perverted, odd, strange, straight from a little change. I don't know why I said that. But anyways, somebody is just doing, when you look at them, you would never peg it was them. You would never, in your mind, when you see them, they look upstanding. I'm like, I hear them say, outstanding. Somebody wanted to look outstanding. Somebody wanted to appear that I would not hurt a fly. I'm the most reliable, stable, high integrity. I am not the problem. And there's a man, I see a CEO, a very well-off CEO. He's looking from side to side, confused, y'all. I said, why is this man looking confused? This man is looking from side to side going, what is going on? It's like somebody's sabotaging this man behind his back. You know how, you working, and he's looking around going, this is somebody playing tricks on me? And this is a very stable-minded man, by the way. This is a man who's very stable, and he's looking around going, is somebody messing with me? Is God playing with me or something? It's like he's getting tricked. I don't know if he's getting tricked or punked. You know how you get somebody like a prankster? I feel like he's getting pranked a lot. And he's looking around from side to side, like, doing this to me. And he can't figure it out. And what I see is a man, another man, who has a very childish look on his face. He has a very kind of like, he has a smirk on his face. And it's kind of like, it's that kind of smirk that's kind of like, you make me laugh. Why do you have to say it like that? Spirit says, "It's a mean one, Mr. Grinch." Y'all seen how the Grinch smiles when he's about to do something mischievous? He gets that long, smirky grin. It's giving the Grinch. Okay, somebody's got the Grinch aura while trying to appear as the nice guy. So the nice, trusted guy really is wearing a costume, and when you unpeel it, he is the Grinch. I'm the mean one, Mr. Grinch. Um, yeah. So somebody's a Grinch behind your back, collective. And what I see is a wall of protection. This is a very impenetrable wall. This is like forget about it wall. When you look at it, you go, ain't nothing I can do to this wall. Somebody is getting right to the wall and say, I don't care if I don't even get through the wall. I'm just gonna spray paint the wall. So somebody has a can of paint and they're just and somebody's hearing the spray paint. And I can hear this man going, "What? I hear somebody spraying something. What is that?" So he's not figuring out what is causing the noise. And literally, when he looks back at this trustworthy man, the man doesn't look like he has anything in his hand. The man has no expression, no aura of the Grinch, but he's the Grinch. And what I see is him right up on the wall, spray painting it. He's spray painting it, and the man is seeing the evidence of the spray paint on the wall. He's staring at the wall going, who is spray painting my wall with different colors? And he's confused. He's like, I don't understand where this spray paint is coming from. Literally, that's how this man is acting. And the guy is right there in his face, looking innocent, going, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see that paint. I'm right beside it. I don't know who did that paint, even though I'm right beside it. I don't know. And nobody's really asking the question, why are you so close to that wall? Nobody else is at the wall. You're the only one at the wall. Why? And nobody's questioning it. That's the part that gets you. Is that this person is right at the wall. The spray paint is on the wall. Nobody else is at the wall, but nobody's questioning why this person is sitting at the wall. But nobody else is there. This person's all alone at the wall by themselves with a can of paint, spray paint the wall. The person is looking at the person confused, like they don't look like they're doing anything, but the person is not asking, why are you at the wall? The person is not getting questioned. Okay? And so it's giving that somebody who appears calm, appears helpful, but maybe they even appear spiritually or morally upright. This could be a practitioner, a preacher, a church member, a really reliable co-worker, supposedly at work, maybe a business partner, whatever maybe it's even a client that you're going to them for advice, and this person that you thought you could go to is giving you a facade. So underneath it all, somebody just wants to control someone. Somebody who has extreme insecurities. So this person is somebody who, again, is giving that Mr. Mr. Mean one, Mr. Grinch, who is giving that evil eye smirk as the person's confused. The person's looking at them, speaking to them, and the person's the whole time, even though they look trustworthy and nice, is control issues, and has insecurities in the presence or even in the behind the scenes towards this person. This is a person that nice wasn't fake, but it was strategic. Somebody wanted to be strategically nice to somebody to have some sort of access to control them based on their own insecurities. Okay, collective? Just I want to give you the 411. Somebody out here looks nice, but their insecurity is loud, even though they're trying to move in silence and subtle. So when the person is around this individual is giving a vibe, trust me, but don't question me. Trust me, but don't question me. And in that moment, someone who does question somebody like this the system, the whole Wizard of Oz behind the scene, the smoke mirrors, which the glitch happens right before your eyes. Somebody needs to confront somebody, but not in a loud, disruptive way. Just maybe start asking questions. Okay? This is not somebody who needs to go into a battle. This is somebody who needs to turn around and ask questions. Okay? About what's your intentions here? What's your intentions? What are you doing? That's what somebody needs to start asking. Somebody needs to start to softly press questions to the right. And not just any question, the right question. Somebody needs to think about the questions before they go and confront this person. Because this person is slippery. And this person is giving an aura of innocence, but they're not to be trusted. They need to have right questions to get the right answers. Okay. And keep leading. I call it the leading question type of answer. Okay. This is when you don't talk as much, collective. The person has to talk 80%, 80-20. When you're asking questions, you answer the question, you speak 20%. And the person you're asking the question to has to speak 80%. So if you say, so what do you believe here? He says, I believe in miracles. And that's it. Then you need to respond, what do you believe about the miracle? And what miracle? And the person says, I believe in blah, blah, blah. And they get quiet again. Again, you go from that question to the next question. And that person needs to be speaking at 80%. And you only 20. So you don't get into this, I call it the assumption spiral. Okay? So somebody needs to start asking 20% of the questions, and somebody who you're asking needs to answer 80%. And you keep asking the question until you get to the root of the truth. Okay. That's somebody needs to get the 80-20 rule. All right. And so of course, it's showing signs that somebody had created a narrative. Maybe somebody was mentally unstable. Somebody may have spread a rumor this person is not capable. They get too freaked out. They're too emotional. They cry on a dime. Whatever this person has declared against someone at their job, maybe their spouse, man, she's not a good enough wife for you. She can't cook. She ain't this. She ain't that. She ain't this. And I don't know. Maybe she's, I don't know. She could be, Mary Poppins for all we know. We don't know. Somebody's saying you're the opposite of what you could possibly be. Okay, collective. Somebody is projecting based on feelings. My sister loves saying this. Well, it's about your feelings. So somebody's in their feelings, and it's not earned. Whatever they have projected out here is not deserving. Okay, this is not warranted. And so somebody's in their feelings, and so sometimes someone has tried to label or frame somebody who's unstable, unqualified, unstable, to only find out that this was a reflection of what they was trying to deflect from their own self. Somebody was deflecting that A, B, and C was the issue, and the whole time it was them that was the issue. Okay, so this is somebody at your job, and everybody's working hard. And this is where I see this at jobs, by the way. This actually has happened in the office. And I've been a manager for many years. I've seen this play out many a time. They had to literally call me to come help them figure this out. People was losing their jobs based off of this. So somebody was so betted on making themselves look like they were competent to find out they was incompetent, but there was very achievable and getting other people fired for their wrongdoing or for their inability to succeed in something that they could have naturally done through training and just asking for help like a normal person. I've seen this at jobs where people were getting fired for not hitting their quota, for not filling out the form correctly, because this is the 18th time that we had to teach the team how to do this report. And I literally have seen people be put in front of a moving bus to only find out that this person has projected a narrative that the staff was not listening. I've trained the staff, and the staff still doesn't understand what I'm saying. Somebody has created a narrative either against a group of people or person, and they have done it behind this group or person's back and told somebody like it was truth, like what they said was butter, gold. And somebody was convinced that what they said was truth. And this person could be a leader, a supervisor, accepted what they said because the person did not want to give an aura of you should ask me questions about what I said to you. To come to find out that all these people got fired or harmed in some way, lost their jobs, to come to find out this man is going to see. I see somebody filing out something, a document or some information, and I see him just blown away that he fired 8 people last week. To only find out that this person was the one that was the root of it all, who now has to own up to what they did. He's like, well, why you let me fire everybody? You just watch me fire everybody. This is what somebody's going to say. Someone's going to say, you let me do all this to everybody till only find out it was you. This is devastating. I've seen this happen at a corporate job, by the way. I walked into the office and the man was hell bent. She believed every story that person said. I said, hell to the fucking no, what we doing in here? She's like, I had to fire this team. This team is just not working. She like, my quota is ruined and I'm about to get, my boss is on my neck. And I'm like, okay, well, let me see what's going on. I'm looking, the person's coming in with the sob story. It seemed believable. I felt it. I said, oh, she said the whole crew ain't capable. Okay, she's one of them. I said, let me come over here and see what's going on. Me as intuitive as hell, y'all. I'm intuitive as shit. I'm like sitting in the room like a boom, bing, bing, boom, bing. I said, oh, something right here. She crying. See, they're just not qualified. They're just not listening to me and then mute me. I'm like, bitch, it's not you. They're not the problem. You is. They're not the problem. You're the problem. She looked at me like, what? You're the problem, huh? You're the problem. You out here assuming everything. You out here lying, and you was valid. You told the district manager this whole crap, and he believed it. He ate it up, and he's waiting for you to get the results, and you can't get results because you lied. You're swimming in shit. And some of y'all have been doing this for a very long time. Y'all have done this to people who didn't deserve it. So you want to blame other people for the incapabilities of yourself, but you had to throw other people on the bus and get railed over by a train because you felt like you was in your goddamn feelings. So now you have to go over long. I see somebody with a suitcase, 2 suitcases. I don't know if they got to pack up and leave. What you doing out here? Who got the suitcase? Let me get the cards. Who got the suitcase leaving? Oh my God. Somebody gotta pack it up. Oh my God. My team is so funny. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Who got suitcases? Somebody gonna have to pack it up. Yeah, somebody's concerned. Somebody got mental illness. Somebody who told everybody that you had mental illness or you had a nervous tick or whatever they said about you collective. It was a lie. It was like someone said there was an extreme exaggeration. And somebody's gonna have to pack it up. Because when you get to this job environment, and I've been under this job environment more than one time. I've been in this situation more than once. This is not my first rodeo of somebody who had I call it an extreme ego, somebody who had an inflated self-confidence. And this is somebody yelling at you that you're inflated. I'm a hot boy. They got you. Somebody's gone. Somebody's gone to Wizard of Oz. Somebody got strange. Somebody was in there feeling. And so, collective, somebody in your environment is deflecting the truth. It's not me, it's you, it's not me. And they have privately talked behind your back to maybe more than one person. And now you got a whole group of people believing in something. And you didn't say it with such a stance that, this is somebody who walks to a boss and says, I got some evidence here at the job. This is at the job now. Listen to me now, collective. Listen to me now. This is somebody who walked up to the boss room and said, Jane ain't doing her job. I got proof. He said, don't question me. But I got it right here. And somebody hands him a documentation, maybe a source of maybe verbalized information. Could be verbalized or documentation. Whatever it is, this person presented something to someone of importance, and this person looked at it. This person was looking at the information. And this information, this person was giving the boss an energy and aura. Trust me. Don't question me. Just look what I have here. This is facts. This is official that this person, and this is what I have. Somebody handed it over to the person. The person said, you know what? You're coming at me with such energy that I can't even question you on it. I'm going to trust you with this. And this is a man or a woman who has a lot of money at the line. Okay, this is somebody who has probably big responsibilities and say, my intuition, that this person's getting ready to experience a tower. I call it the Great Fall of China. If they don't hurry up and get their shit together and wake the fuck up. Because somebody has handed them documents and I see dominoes hitting behind their head. I see a collapse behind this person. And so when this person finds out that this person is either collapsing them in some form based on feelings, oh child, it's not going to be cute. Okay? Somebody has confused a group of people or somebody of importance so that they don't look too closely at the source. Somebody, don't look too hard. Trust me. Don't look. Don't ask me no questions. Trust me. And this person gave her or the present. Don't question me. Don't look too close at the source. And it made people go, okay. Well, they're so adamant about it. Well, they said it with such conviction. Well, they're so adamant that this is what they said. This show, he told me this too. He told me this too. And they told me that too. And they told me that too. And they told me that. And I'm like, God damn. So the people are, well, I guess it's right. I don't know. They seem so convinced about it. Do you think that's right? I don't know. It doesn't seem right. And this is how people are talking. I'm like, wake the fuck up, people. You can't be that slow. You're not watching TV. This is real life. And these people are whispering, I don't know. It doesn't seem right. But he's so adamant about it. You think he's right? I don't know, girl. This is what it's given. And these people are acting out. This is something that somebody probably had. These are people who have been told a lie. And I say a group of 50, 100, whatever, a work environment, 10 people, who had to live in this experience for 5 to 10 years. So by one individual, in their feelings, has created a whole work environment under this toxicity, max level grade, subtly, while appearing harmless, but was very dangerous in their work environment. So someone out here is wanting you, the collective, to look something questionable, uncertain. If I make them look shaky, uncertain, unreliable, not good enough, that I can stay in control of this environment. Somebody, if you work with somebody at this job, I feel for you. I'm like, I hear Shaka Khan, I feel for you because I love you. I feel for you. That's what I'm hearing from the collective right now. I feel for the collective because I love you, right? That's the vibe. But somebody out here wanted y'all, you, it, me, whoever, to look unstable, uncertain, and unreliable so that they could stay in control. If this was your work environment, someone was running the show and was running them up for years, as long as they've been around in their work environment. Okay? Now this is where things start to get a little interesting. Somebody maybe was trying to edit the information, maybe edit the documents. Maybe somebody is starting to realize, hey, this information that I was told is not really aligning to what I'm seeing. And this is somebody who's really busy, really intelligent. They're going, somebody presented something to me that was official or facts, but when I push and start to ask questions, they feel that pressure. Someone's feeling pressure, okay? It sounds good until people start thinking. Somebody needs to hurry up and think. Somebody says, wake up little Susie. Somebody needs to wake the hell up and fast. Because what I see behind the scenes is giving me, sir, ma'am, you best to wake the hell up. Son, sir, ma'am. Okay, excuse me. Your shit is about to get rocked if you don't wake the fuck up. Stop being gullible Eddie, okay? Stop being gullible Bill, okay? Stop to look at shit. Go back, people. People say, go back to the past and look at what the story was trying to tell you. Like, I don't want to get into that whole Wizard of Oz shit and the wizard. Go back to the past. I'm stop playing. I'm playing way too much. I'm about to start cracking up and start cracking jokes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, I'm really gonna have to start. Somebody give me the a wizard hat and a cloak and say, "You must go back to." Let me hold a crystal ball. You must go back to the past to find what once was yours. Yeah, that's literally how it looks out here, collective. I'm playing a little too much, but that's what it's giving. Okay, collective. Somebody needs to go back and start getting the pieces together and start to make sense of a very confusing plot or maybe a confusing storyline and start to ask factual questions, not questions out of emotion, because some of y'all be out here, see two things and you run out here, what you said, what? And the person's just slicing and dicing you with all type of lies and confusion, twisting. This is a very confusing spirit. This is a twisting word spirit. This is somebody who if you don't have your shit in order coming up against somebody like this, you need to have your 80-20 questions in order. Okay, don't play around with it. Okay, baby, don't play with it. Don't play with it. So, yeah, somebody needs to take this seriously. Somebody, and I'm not saying this is creepy, but somebody has a locked in fixation energy. This is somebody who watches the collective so closely that the person had a pen, the person probably know what brand it is. This is somebody, and I'm not joking when I say that. This person watched somebody so closely. I'm sure they know what pen, the color, the brand it is. That's how hard somebody's watching somebody. Somebody's watching somebody too closely. It's odd. Okay. And somebody's overthinking about the situation too much. Somebody has created a lie where it has created a narrative of extremes. They overthink, they're tracking you too much, they're trying to figure you out too much. And this is maybe somebody they haven't even physically worked with. This is like giving, and this is the creepy part. And I want to make sure I say this too, because spirit is leading me to this. This could be somebody who's working in a different department than you, and you've never met this person in your life, but this person is obsessed with you because they have lied against you at work, saying that your reports are wrong, that you're unstable, your emails was unstable, that you was freaking out, that the reports wasn't due, the information is just not right, and he couldn't get the report done. So this could be somebody in a different department as you that you never physically met, who is literally watching every fucking thing you do and overthinking and tracking you and trying to figure you out and then draw into some kind of intentions, like the attention that turns into irritation. This is somebody who watches you so much that they irritated because they can't control the outcome. They can't control you, not even from the other department. This is somebody who's trying to keep themselves employed. This was giving collective, somebody who's trying to keep themselves seen to be revered in some way, okay? Position, maybe keep themselves employed. And they're upset because they can't control the outcome. And this is somebody who could be attacking somebody in a different location, a different work environment, and the person in the work environment is clueless. They're probably not clueless. They're probably well aware somebody is targeting them. And they're walking and the person is trying to just function in their environment. Okay. So the collective is starting to see now, the co-workers or the community is starting to say, you know what? This sounded right before, but now I'm thinking that something ain't right with this whole story. This whole thing seems off and it's creepy. It's kind of on the creepy side, collective. Somebody's saying, I see somebody saying like, this person had admiration for you. This is somebody who went into comparison against you. Then someone who went to frustration, to low-key resentment. And then they had a lot of subtle, again, that trustworthy aura. I'm doing my job. I would never come up against you. I would never do such a thing. While with a spray paint in their hand going, kss, 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 in the work meeting. This is kind of odd stuff. So somebody's doing something in that kind of behavior. And someone who, like I said, admires you, compared themselves against you, frustrated by you, and low-key resent you. And this could be a business environment, a work environment, relationship environment. Okay. And this is not physical. This is I don't want to say this is physical jail. This is not physical jail, but somebody's controlling nature is giving like a psychological social containment. And this is where I saw the spiritual warfare. Okay. I saw an octopus. Jungle House octopus attacks a prey and then holds it in place. And then, somebody has created an octopus or squid-like energy and has grabbed something and has gripped a hold on it that's losing grip now and is trying to box you into a role that does not fit you, collective. And they're using an octopus warfare, psychological, social containment against you, collective. Y'all need to pray against that. I just told you how to pray against that. Psychological, social containment. So it's trying to box you into a role that does not fit. Somebody's trying to limit your movement. Somebody's trying to control your voice. Somebody's trying to control how others see you, collective. But the grip is weakening. Okay. Thank you, Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay. Somebody thought they had way more control than they actually do. Okay. And they're working to the bone, hard, day and night, stalking, watching too closely, overthinking too much. They're doing the most out here acting like Wizard of Oz, behind the scenes, tracking you, trying to figure it out, because they need to control how it looks at the end. Okay. Okay. And Spirit said this is a hard thing to keep up. Okay, collective. Somebody's trying to keep up a lie it's gonna be too hard to keep up. Okay. Somebody should have lied again and said, you know what? I think I had a brain. I'm wrong about what I said. Somebody someone could have saved face a long time ago. I feel like somebody had opportunities to change what they did, but they didn't, and they just held on to it, and that shit is not flying, honey. So now somebody's gonna have to fight. It's not gonna be a lightning strike, but it's definitely gonna feel like a quiet correction. This is when somebody comes into the office because now the boss has found out that the information was false. That he didn't fire 8 people at a job in a work environment. It's just everybody's just tired, and everybody's just like I see a worn out group. They tired. And somebody's depressed. Somebody like the group has a depressed vibe. And I can see somebody at their job environment like, oh my God, this place is I'm just so ready to go. When it's 5 o'clock. And I can see somebody say like, the boss is figuring things out. Like the boss is like, okay, wait a minute. This is what they said. This is what, wait a minute. Everything's leading back to somebody here. Hold on. None of this is right. And I can see somebody finding out something that was very believable. Okay, this because somebody who had this energy to not question things, and they should have questioned things. Okay, but this is a lesson that everybody has to learn. And I see somebody I see a group of people in an office at a desk, and I see somebody having to walk into the room, and this person is surprised, like surprise, corporate's here, and the boss is there, and he's with a whole bunch of documents trying to sort out some sort of confusion. She should have been here. He should have been there. What's going on here? I don't know. This is not coming out right. Nothing's coming out right. Something's going on. I need to figure out what is that spray paint noise that I've been seeing in this work environment. That's what this person's doing. Okay. He's sorting out the rat pretty much. And so the person walks into the office and he just has a stun and like, uh-oh, my time is here, karma. It's not going to be something I call a loud correction or a loud judgment, but somebody's going to see somebody noticing the inconsistencies. Somebody's going to notice that behaviors over time, that they're in environments that they should not be in. Somebody may have been in areas that they should not be in. And people are asking questions. Why was such and such in sector 2? Why was he there? I saw him there. I know I saw him there too. But nobody questioned why such and such was in sector 2. That's not their job description. That's not their authority. That's not what we gave them access to. Why they're in sector 2? And nobody questioned it. Okay. People just looked and moved on. They looked, saw it, and moved on. Okay. So somebody has to now maintain a performance that's getting harder and harder to maintain. Somebody has to pull up a whole lot of theatrics, whole lot of witchcraft, a whole lot of narrative to keep up the performance that they have shelled out for years. And this whole group, and I feel like this group, this cast of actors is suffering because of it. Somebody has put in a lot of effort to maintain something versus being sustainable. Somebody's put in a lot of effort to lie instead of living versus living sustainable in peace. And guess what? Truth requires a lot less maintenance than a lie. And a lie needs a whole lot of maintenance, especially the bigger the crowd you tell it to. Okay? So somebody's out here, somebody did too much. And this is a work environment. Oh, so this is not going to turn out well. This is a corporate environment. Okay? It's not going to turn out well, Sonny. Okay? It's going to be a quiet correction. And I'm not saying a write-up. I'm talking about somebody, sometimes they will reposition people, out of a position and have to go hire somebody else to replace somebody at a job. That's where it could be. But yeah, it could be something like that, where somebody may not be a supervisor no more. Maybe somebody has to be moved out of a group and go into another group. Somebody has to be separated from people. This is a work environment. I'm not saying this is what's happening, but this is giving, just on a corporate level, once we have somebody who we see have this kind of temperament, if they don't self-correct, then we have to correct them. And we're not going to correct them to force a behavior change. We're asking them to have the discernment that what they're doing is not right and come into alignment. If they don't come into alignment, then we have to write you up and then we have to let you go. That's the vibe that I'm feeling. Now, when you call about everyday life, somebody's getting ready to answer to this correction right now. It's not giving them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notice. This is the final notice. And somebody's getting ready to experience it in a very soft, quiet way. This is not going to be some loud tower noise. This is going to be a soft correction. Not a soft correction. Let me rephrase that. It's a quiet correction, not a soft correction. Okay? Because this is maybe a big blow to this individual's ego. In any case, the woman that I do see a woman who's very capable. It shows that this woman has the achievements to do whatever this position is, or if this is at a work environment. I did see a woman in the office here a minute ago. This woman is showing the aura of being unbothered. Like she's aware, but she's like, I see it now. I check it. I clock the situation, but I'm unbothered by it. And this is great for a work environment. Okay, if this is your supervisor, he sees the drama. He sees this horrible drama. This can lead to lawsuits and work compliance issues and, just very negative feedback, And so this person is like a supervisor. He's looking in, he's going, oh, I see I see her over there. Okay. Oh, she sees it. I see it. Okay. And somebody is seeing something now. And they see that you're not reacting as somebody would, that they would expect you to be fighting, carry on, just losing your whole damn mind, okay, in the parking lot. And somebody was trying to act and make you look like you was losing your mind, collective. Keep being non-reactive to what's happening around you. Okay, be non-reactive. Okay, because this is an energy that seeks attention. Okay, this is somebody who I call it the glory hog. Okay, the glory hog. Okay, and this is somebody who wants a lot of attention. They want to be baited a lot, and it can be very misconstrued. Okay, and I have some glory oil, and that's not what that's intended for the collective out here who's going to purchase that. Glory, you're not going to be a glory hog. Thank you very much. But the collective is growing into a space where you don't need to explain yourself. So this person, the supervisor, the person that this person has probably told this to, is starting to see, hey, this person's not explaining themselves. This person's not, coming running into the office with their proof or their validation. This person is staying quiet. And that's a good position to be in. It's quiet because that level of toxicity doesn't need any more fuel, no more emotions, because somebody was already in their feelings. And to add to it is just add light in the fuse. I call it just don't even, honey. Don't even. Let time present itself with truth. Okay. Over time, truth will prevail. Okay. So somebody was, I would say definitely the collective is definitely focused on clarity and has strong restraints. And that is a very good thing when somebody is like certain people are going to be very irritated by your stance of being non-reactive, clear, but also, you're very aware of yourself. Like somebody is very irritated that you are not reacting, okay, collective? And it could be a whole bunch of people could be very irritated that you're not reacting, okay? So moving on from that, the whole takeaway of this podcast today is that someone is attempting to control a narrative so that they can look like they have the perception, the label, or the positioning to manage how things look out here in the collective. But the structure is not holding up long term. Whatever they had done out here, these collective spiritual streets, it's collapsing, and it's going to continue to collapse. As I see it eroding as I speak. It's melting away like ice cream being melted away. So whatever this lie that was frozen in place is now melting like ice cream. Meanwhile, collective, you stay steady. Don't overperform. Do not get theatric. Just do your job. Do your job. Don't be performative. When I mean performative, be dramatic or overperform. If you're in a spiritual business, just do your business without making yourself look like a circus clown. Okay. Don't get into this, I call it over expectation type of vibe. It's weird. It's a weird energy that I'm seeing out here. And don't do a whole lot of talking, collective. Like, don't get into this whole let me explain. No, shut the hell up. No, don't do that. And let time do the talking. Let time do the talking. Just shut up, collective. Do your job. Don't get into this whole theatrical, being loud and performative. You don't need to do none of that. Just come out calm, quiet, collected, do your job, and get up out of there. And let time do the talking. Okay. Now, what I see right now for the collective at this point in time, people are going to start slowly shifting, and they're going to say, "What? That doesn't add up." Like I said, the collective people are going to have to start seeing the informational manipulation as what it is. Some of y'all may have to go back, like I said, with the Wizard of Oz, and start saying, "Go back to the hands of time." Let me stop playing. But somebody's going to be having to go back and grab this information, and they're going to have to look at the shit. And excuse my language for saying shit, but somebody's going to have to look at the stuff and get down to what somebody didn't want questioned, and they declared as facts is not true. And it created a whole persona of energies, and it looks really spiritual. It looked really sour. It looks really bad. Somebody created a whole full movie production. Somebody went in and did a lot of theatrics, a lot of cinema energy, and that could be mental health issues, as they declared on You Collective. But somebody went through, and somebody did a very cinematic lie. Somebody did a very, I'm gonna say director, one character that thought they was a director of a movie, and they forgot the audience had a brain. I think I have a brain. So it's giving me a vibe too that somebody was so confident, and it's kind of arrogant though, that whatever this person said that the collective believed without question, and this is what this person banked on, and it didn't just make the person they target look like a fool, it made this whole collective look kind of foolish for how long it lasted, and nobody questioned it. And if they question it too softly to not announce it, because this person doesn't want to be questioned. So this person is probably very aggressive when questioned, but this person needs to be questioned. Again, the 20-80 narrative. You answer the question, they responded 80%, and you keep leading the question until the truth is all the way down to the root of it. And this will solve every issue, especially if you're at your workplace. It will solve every issue you got. If you have somebody who's doing hidden conflicts in your workplace and you can't root out the problem, and it makes it look like you're targeting your whole co-workers, because when a supervisor is trying to figure out a problem, he's picking whatever he thinks is the weakest link, and he starts laying off, writing up people, and people are just leaving the place to come to find out that these people, all they needed was positive reinforcement, coaching and training and end up to fire these people being deemed as incompetent because somebody didn't know themselves how to train you or how to empower you correctly, maybe even put you in the right position, wherever it was, if people wasn't feeling valued at the time. And so this energy is got to be rooted out with questions, and not just any questions, right questions, and make sure, again, the 20-80 rule. You speak 20, they speak 80, and if they're very short in their responses, you keep probing the question until they give you the answer. Now, I want to put something out here, collective. Someone is very disturbed, okay? And I don't want to say it that way, but I gotta say it that way because this person used a lot of regular things into spirit, regular stuff into spirit. And so let me go look at this real quick. Somebody maybe listens to a podcast over and over again for some odd reason. Kind of weird. I see somebody listening to a podcast, but they got a weird expression on their face. I don't know what's up with that. Yes, collective, you're heavily protected. Yeah, the collective is heavily protected. But if I was a boss, I would not be happy. I think a lot of leaders, if there's any leaders listening to this podcast, a business owner, a supervisor, maybe a head of household, any position where you're kind of in the lead of something, and somebody's coming up to you, like your kids, your co-worker, your neighbor, and they're all kind of coming to you with this, like, listen to me, and whatever you may need to not be defensive, not to be overly discerning, but I need you to kind of like create an environment where truth has to be the leading factor in your environment. And so when your kids are coming up to you, maybe little white lies, you start to ask the right questions and listening keenly to these work environments, especially if it's a work environment where somebody is using a lot of I call it shadow emotions to float along, or maybe throw people in front of a moving bus while they underperform, or create a narrative that could lead to a lawsuit, harassment, and things like that. That's what it's giving. Like somebody needs to start asking the correct questions because yeah, this energy has been here long enough and it just needs to be cleaned up now. This is cleanup time. This is not warring time. This is cleanup time quietly, without a lot of theatrics. A quiet cleanup. Versus someone has behaved poorly while looking innocent in doing so. Yeah. Somebody keeps doing love spells. I don't know. Child. Somebody has an entity attachment, or they're trying to send innocent people an energy attachment. Again, that's that octopus spirit that I saw earlier. Someone could be trying to contain you, a male or female, that is being contained by a lie through an octopus spirit. Okay. And somebody's gonna have to change their behavior real quick because they're being blocked. They can't continue this lie. Okay. The false narrative is collapsing, child, because somebody was immature and somebody's having health concerns by this. Somebody's having health concerns based on this lie as well. So, this is a lie that's making them sick. There's a good lie, but I'm like, that what the hell? Let that lie, let the lie go. Okay. I'm laughing because I'm seeing wow, why am I seeing that? I'm seeing Celie. Is it Celie from Color Purple when she holds her hands and getting into the truck? Whatever you do, but it's never gonna be right until you do right by me. Something like that. I'm getting that vibe too. Because somebody got that Celie Color Purple vibe when they leave and point their fingers. Someone's going through karma. That's what it says. Literally, the card that popped up was karma. And The divine masculine, Lord have mercy, man. Let me try to see the divine masculine. I'm saying like this. Lord, that poor divine masculine. I thought I was going through it, sir. Lord Jesus. Okay, sir. The divine masculine he must got the whole wheel in his hand. I was like, what's that song? In his hands, you got the whole world in his hand. The comic masculine is probably coming for blood. I don't know. I don't know. Comic masculine, don't be. The words I'm hearing for the divine masculine. Don't believe the hype. Don't, don't, don't believe that. I don't know. Whatever this person said, someone said to somebody needs to go back and someone said something's ricocheting. Somebody needs to go back and figure out. The divine masculine needs to go back and figure it out because this karma is coming either the good way towards you or the wrong way. And this is for the divine masculine. Somebody got a health concern due to being immature about this false narrative that they wanted to hold on to and to block this rich man. Again, this is somebody targeting a rich masculine. It could be a female, but if a female relates to the story. But right now I see it as a masculine, a very well-off CEO male who is being, it could be another male that's wealthy that's targeting another man. And it's based on a star seed energy here. Religious matters. Could be two religious men going at it. But I always tell people it looks polite, but it's not. There's some changes coming ahead based on these false narratives that it should have just, first, you best to let it go. Or don't play with it. Wherever this false narrative is, they need to go ahead and make some changes. And I mean, seriously, expeditiously. The collective, if you've been targeted by this narrative, you're protected. Okay, so don't even react. Like the collective or this person at this job, I saw a woman at a job that's being targeted at her work environment. Girl, just do your job. You see it, and the upper corporate office sees it as well. Okay. So there's good energy coming as well. So that's good news that the collective will be moving on from a situation. And there's a lot of support around that, okay, collective. Somebody's also doing some sort of love spell. I wouldn't advise people to do love spells if y'all see how, because when those love spells backfire, it does create some sort of imbalance in these people. And somebody just keeps doing it over and over and over again. But I do see somebody doing a love spell. I also see somebody who's trying to maybe attach an entity towards someone's career, towards the innocent individual. Somebody is still trying to create some sort of imprisonment with an entity. They're trying to cage you up by an entity to stop you from moving forward. So somebody's trying to place an attachment on you, collective, to keep you from moving forward. Not physical jail, but a jail of spirit where you need deliverance from a demonic force to get this removed or whatever, okay? This is somebody who's trying to create destructions in your blessings, okay? This is somebody this is opposition who's going through some sort of confusion, illusions, and maybe even, if they don't stop, maybe even a transition. They got a lot of people in the background, these flying monkeys, who I've seen in the spirit, and I just want to say this in a very calm way. I saw in the spirit that a group of people who are flying monkeys had a black band over their crown chakra. So it feels like they're being, because they don't have any emotions. They don't have any emotions that I would think normal people would have, but they have this eagerness for chaos. They have an eagerness of torment. It's evil. It's an evil energy. And I see a black band going across their forehead, and all of them, I'm going to say more than 15 to 20 people, has been hit by this particular energy. And what it looks like, spirits like foot soldiers, but it's giving an aura where these people are lunging at you in this smiling, distorted expression, and they're looking like their mind is not bridging together. Again, it's giving like somebody who's mentally off. But again, somebody could be telling somebody something and is doing something to their mind where they're not bridging the truth, okay, with clarity. Because something is dark is in between has created some sort of confusion in their spirit. And they all need to go get deliverance. I'm not joking when I say that you're gonna need more than a spiritual bath. Okay? Somebody needs to get deliverance in the hands of the Yeshua HaMashiach. Somebody needs to go ahead and get deliverance. And I'm not talking one or two people. I'm talking about there's a group of people that's been hit across the front top of their chakra, honey, child. And they got a black band across their forehead. I mean, not forehead, but over the top of their crown. And they're being influenced by a dark force. And they're reacting in the physical world, smiling and laughing and thrilled by these lower vibrations. Again, somebody gonna need to go to the Holy Ghost. Okay? I'm not even joking. Somebody's also trying to tie up people's finances. That's going to backfire. I said that as quick as, yeah. And somebody's trying to bring an end to someone's finances. Someone's trying to literally wipe it out. Spirit says obliterate it. Somebody's trying to obliterate someone's finances. And that's why I saw that man too, this man that's going through something. If he don't hurry up and get this sorted out with truth and clarity, he's, it could cause problems. And I'm talking about for any leader, not just the leader that I mentioned today. This is something signifying leaders who are too close to something that has created some sort of narrative too long and that nobody's really addressing it. Nobody's really confronting it. It's not the person that's targeted's place anymore, because the targeted individual, it looks like it's not even at the end of the story. So when it comes to the finale of this situation, people will think that the one that's been targeted will be the end, like, oh, okay, the finale, the person's that was targeted, it's going to be the finale, and it's not the collective storyline. The collective is already out of the narrative. Okay, the collective has already left the narrative, and the only thing left is the individual who maybe not loudly, but how can I say this? You're not in the scene anymore. You're not in this production anymore, but you're just watching it unfold. So I'm gonna say like this: the collective is watching it unfold, but not in the scenes of the movie anymore. And the producer, the director, which is the person who's lying out here in the collective, is the main character and is the only character left in the story. But I forgot that the audience can think for themselves now. So the finale is going to be this one character, and not the collective. The collective the story has already ended for the targeted individuals. And now we're just seeing the person who has done all of this finale. Somebody is very surprised that you're unbothered by the abuse that you was enduring at your environment or in your environment that this person has done to you, especially the flying monkeys. Maybe the flying monkey is just shocked at the behavior you have, that they see that you're unbothered by the Jezebel influence that is being exposed out here in the collective. They're shocked that you're not bothered by the abuse, like you're not phased, collective, okay? And somebody thought you would be very distraught, okay? Collapsing, maybe. Anyway, the overall energy is that the collective has already left the storyline, and the only one character left is the person who has created this narrative, and that's where the finale is at right now. We're at this point in time, as I speak, on April the 14th at 7:37. The narrative is the only person left standing in this whole production is the person who has created that narrative, and the other individual that has been told this lie for a long time. So it's probably two men that are face to face, who's experiencing this narrative right now. So it's a male, maybe two men. There is a comic female in the background working stuff, but I feel like Not to say she's not relevant, but she's not relevant in this storyline at this time. It's the main person who was spreading these narratives in another male, okay? Or a male figure, or a male energy, because females can be male too. Anyway, uh, that's the end of this. The end of this whole narrative. That again, we got a director who's getting the rolling credits, and there are some other players behind this. You know, a comic female. I see a male boss energy, and I see some other people, but they got some issues happening to them. I don't know if they got stripped of gifts or they've been hit with something major in their mind. Okay, and they're acting normal, so I don't even know if they even realize something happened to their mind. Okay, collective. And there's an octopus deliverance that needs to be acquired out here, collective. I can do a prayer if you want, but it's gotta be a short prayer. Let me see if I can do an octopus prayer. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast without holding up too much time. Let's do it right now. I asked for a short one. So, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I command any octopus-like attachments, system, structure, spirit, any spirit cords or influence attempting to cling, wrap, drain, to be exposed now, remove completely in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, and every technical, every grip, every hidden hold, release, detach, go now. I call on Archangel Michael to cut every cord cleanly, and Archangel Raphael to heal and restore every place that it was touched. Nothing remains, nothing hides, nothing returns. All access is revoked. All attachments are permanently removed and sealed by the authority of Yeshua. I stand in full sovereignty, clarity, and protection. Amen. And we're going to do one more. And it's going to get, I should have done this before time, but I didn't. But hold up. And let's do this. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I cover this podcast, this message, my voice, my platform, and every listener in truth and protection. Every word released is alive, clear, and carried in peace. Let me rephrase that, in peace, not confusion. Anything assigned to distort, monitor, imitate, or interfere in this podcast, remove it now. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I call on Archangel Michael to stand guard over this podcast, cutting off all unauthorized access, influences, or attachments, free and clear. I just revoke it. I rebuke it. I call on Archangel Raphael to restore, stabilize my body, voice, energy, keeping everything grounded, clear, and at ease. This message reaches only who is meant for. It lands with clarity, peace, and understanding. No distortion, no confusion, no interference, only alignment, truth, and protection remains. I stand in full authority and sovereignty. My voice is covered. This podcast is covered. My space is covered and sealed. Amen. So that's the end of this amazing podcast. I hope this was received in clarity. I hope you feel protected and corrected. If you're going through this and having conversations, there's adjustments that you may need to make. There's adjustments that other people need to make. But whatever it is, no confusion should attach to it. No distortion should follow it. And only clarity should remain. So don't overwork it. And I hope this collective have an amazing afternoon or evening or whenever you hear this podcast. And I wish you the best. Until next time, peace.